Good morning. Today we are doing the Hansshow Frunk install kit. But first, coffee. Gotta start with the essentials, right? Test the shirt, test the jacket. It's the only way to work on the cars when they need the work. Well, technically I'm doing an upgrade, so it's not doing work. Let's go. Hansshow, power tailgate and power frunk. Today is the power frunk. So as of now, if I want to open the frunk, I gotta do that. And you see, nothing happens. It just pops. Then, I gotta do this. So today we're gonna make that easier. And also closing. See, I had to do it twice. Plus, you should really be using two hands, one on each side. One here and one here. So what happens then, after you've washed your beautiful car, you get fingerprints here. What's really nice is the kit really comes with everything you need, except the instructions are not that helpful. The brains, or the router as a lot of people say, warranty cord, a couple of 3M double-sided tape, zip ties, the new heavy-duty struts, the latch actuator, and then the wiring harness and kit and everything. So that's it. I've done this install once already for Franklin, Mother Frunker. So this will be number 2. Now the tools. More zip ties. A box cutter. Ratchet with a T10. Pliers. Pull tools for the plastic covers. Needle nose. And electrical tape. Forgot the electrical tape. I'll be back. Like I was saying. Electrical tape. And then we're going to be taking out 7 bolts. These ones here. So 2 in the bottom, pop this out, there's going to be 2 in here. When you pop this out, 2 more, and then 1 more in this spot. Sorry, y'all have to kind of like bear with me. I am doing this install myself and filming myself. Now, simple stuff. These things literally just have some clips underneath, so they're very easy to pop out. Then the air vent flow, pop it out. And here's one of the other bolts I was telling you about. And this just simply pops up. 6, 7. So there's your 7 bolts. Just gonna unplug that to make this easier. Use your wrench tool and that's it. You could also use a drill. I prefer to do this way. And then the one hiding over here. And a few things I suggest is either getting a Ziploc bag to put all your nuts and bolts in, or these ones again just go into the tub. Then the tub itself, you usually just use your fingers to run through. And same thing, just keep popping the pieces out. Same with this side. Everything is disconnected, and that's it. Pop it off. Quarter of the way done. So there's the latch and everything now. That pin is going to get changed out, and we're going to add another piece to there that will help actuate it. There's the bottle guy. Famous bottle guy. So one thing I forgot to mention is while you're doing this, you should have alcohol. No, not the drinking one. Wipe down the spot, basically where the horn is going to go. You're going to be putting the latch release actuator there. So you can kind of give it a little wipe down ahead of time. And the other spot, so right here is where we're going to put the brains. Next we're going to replace the strut arms. Like these guys, pretty beefy. Now the only problem here is I am doing this by myself, so you do need someone to kind of hold the hood up. I am going to attempt to do this without breaking anything. So there's not much to these struts. You basically got to get in where the clip is pull it out, and then they just pop out. Same thing with the bottom. Again, use a flathead screwdriver. Now this is where I'm gonna have the problem. Hopefully I can get this in without the need of a second person. And yeah, I have a problem. I'm gonna have to move the camera, and I'm gonna have to hold the hood and everything by myself. So you see, we come from the generation of YouTube, but I come from the generation of TV. And you guys have probably watched YouTube like you're now, learning how to do things. But before, I had MacGyver. So I kind of MacGyvered this up, this to hold it, and then my head. Et voila! And now we can get rid of this. And again, these are very easy to put in. They just pop in. Very simple. Perfect. Beauty. And before untangling these, I recommend, just to make it easier to get it underneath the plastic parts here, to keep it tied up, and then you can just wrap it underneath on both ends. This side, you're going to run it along. I found it's easier just to where these other wires are, because you already know that these fit under the tub. So you can run right along it, and you know you're gonna run. You're not gonna have clearance problems, and then tie it up. That's what I'm talking about under here. So I lied. You should unravel it and then run the wire under and grab it. This went from a how-to video to a how not to. Do not keep it tied. I am gonna run this wire to where the box is going to be, which again, like I said, is there. So you can basically, all of this slack can stay hidden under here. This is where having those extra big zip ties come into play. So let me show you. See? And I'm just going to tuck it under there. And then again, run this wire. I kept a little bit of slack, but again, I can adjust it afterwards. That's why I did not clip that tie yet. Again, with this side, and because the tub is not locked in, I can actually run this wire right underneath. And then tuck this down here. Again, leaving a little bit of slack. There's a lot of room in this well. Basically, it's part of the wishbone suspension. So you have to be careful because you have the spring coils here, and you don't want to be catching this. So I ixnayed on that. I'm actually going to stuff it here. Another what not to do lesson from Mark. But again, that's what the trial and error is for, right? So when someone else does this install, I've already gone through all those growing pains. It makes it a lot easier. And that's why you should like this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Keeping my one wire and then the second strut wire here. I will do the main cleanup after. Next is the actuator. So make sure you got that 3M tape. This is your release cable, your new emergency release. So when there's no power to the vehicle, this acts as your new pull release. And it's going to go to the same spot in the front. Obviously, I'll show you. Your new pull latch. So you're not taking anything out of here. You're going to replace the spring. This is basically going to be an addition to it. It's going to be that actuator. And I'm attaching it to where the most of the surface is. Because it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have these spots that are basically going to go down and not attach. So the way the wire is here, the trick is to kind of go straight down and then curve it back. Alright, now that you have the suction actuator in place, you're going to need your needle nose. Very simple. The original spring, take it off. It's very easy to come off. Now with the new hook, this screw is going to come out here. There's a little small hole here that this is going to fit into. So I took that bolt out, placed the lock. You'll see that little notch. Adjust it to go in, and then tighten it back up. And because we kind of move this around when you take that bolt off, this is one of the adjustments that we will need to do afterwards to make sure that the hook latches into here properly. Now with that all set back in, what's going to hold that latch is that spring. So the new spring is going to go over. Why does the camera keep turning on me? So the new spring they gave you, it's smaller. To that lock that you just basically put on, this piece is not going to come flying off because it's going to be locked in, and then lock it in here, and that's what you need your needle nose with again. Pop that on. There's the groove. Put it on. Grab your needle nose, and again, this is what I lost, so you guys need to be very careful. And it's going to attach onto there. If you're not careful, it'll spring off on you. So there you go. Now this is all latched in, and here's the other adjustment that we will make after we know that it's latching in. This spring, you can see it's already too far over, so we're going to have to move it to the right or to the left. That basically will loosen this latch up. So we're getting there. That's all done now. Wiring, we're basically almost done now. It's pretty much this wiring that has to be set up, and making sure that it's as clean as possible running in through here. The tidy up part is, again, another thing that takes up most of your time. I am about an hour in, and I did have to go in quite a few times, so I wasted probably 15-20 minutes. So let's say 45 minutes already into the install. Next, you gotta find the signal, motor, and buzzer, all that wires. Try to, even when you take it all apart, try to keep it tidy so that afterwards it just makes it so much easier. So we need the signal status. That's gonna be replaced with this one here. Just a little clip and pull. Very simple, because again, they're basically like plug and play. It's like splitting. So now that's gonna go in, and then you have your new plug that's going to be the main one. Actually, see, again, that's why I'm doing this for you. So this wire, the actuator wire, is going to get tucked down here. I'm going to tie it there, but these wires, just to make sure they're not interfering, kind of run it under and then plug it all up, so that again I can tuck these down nicely, because this wire is going to give a little bit of movement when it's pulling on there. And we're also going to cut here just so it's sitting flush inside. There's nothing in here, so you don't have to worry that thinking that you're going to be cutting something. Wires. This wire, I'm going to attach it. There's the wire by the horn here. I'm going to zip tie it there. I am loosely zip tying it. Sorry for the way the camera's angled, but I need to show you the plug wire, which is down here. So again, with these wires here, just making sure that they're not all tangled up, so it makes it easier to clean up after. Plug wire is here. I'm just gonna lift off. I know it's hard to see, but this top part, it's pretty simple. Just pull this up, and then it's gonna pull down. And then same thing, this is gonna go into this place. Make sure it locks in, so you have a secure connection, and then your new piece is going to go in. And same, push it, and there you go, clicked in. Beauty. So next here, we want to pop this off, and then we're going to run emergency latch. What you want to do, because I won't be able to record this while I do it, you want to push it from here, because this is where the clip is that comes out. So you want to push hard here. I find 2 thumbs pushing hard, and it comes out. I will try to film it, but because I don't have any room here really to work with, so right up in here. It's no joke, this thing's tough. There. Oh, well, that was not smart. I actually broke it. How not to do it. 101. See, that's where that latch is. Right there. But for some reason, the bottom was stuck. You have the hook here. Put in the emergency latch. You want to make sure you go around that, not through it. Okay, so this emergency release I was talking about, this again is more by feel, but I basically cheated and used the needle nose once I was close to the hole and just pulled it up. So that's it. You don't have to pull it out too far. What I'm going to do is basically attach these two with some electrical tape and then hide it back in there. So now it's just a matter of plugging everything in to the brains of the operation. Wait, that's me. Everything's going to basically be plugging in and then placed on here, as I mentioned. So I'm going to just clean up these wires, run them along, and then I'll come back for the important stuff again. Right here in the well is where you can tuck the majority of the wires that are coming in from the front. I'm going to put the button, and the button's actually going to tuck also under there. So here's a closer view of the buzzer, and again I'm just going to tape it under there. There's that wiring that I said, tuck it in the side to the right. In the home stretch, I added the power, and the wire is just sitting on there, so I attached it in. And then here's your ground and power wire, and I'm going to use this for the ground. So you can see there's the power, the brain, sorry, cutting across, and then you see the wires. See this plug and then the wire to it. That's where I'm going to attach the negative. Obviously I'm not going to film while I'm doing that, but just so everybody knows where it is. Alright, so I connected the power, all lined up. The brain is flashing, so we're good. Everything's connected in, tied up. Power and ground wire, the other main wires. And then I've tucked everything down. I know it looks kind of messy, but it will tuck in underneath. I finally have someone help me now that we're at the end. Well, thanks, Margarita. Love you. So we're going to put the tub back in. Now, you would think that you're going to test it before, but actually you can't, because the tub needs to be in for you to be able to see the latch closing. And make sure, again, that wire under here, you need this plug. This is for the light and the testing. And if all went well, it should sit properly. So this is your debugging cable. So afterwards, we're actually going to disconnect that cable out, and then it's just going to connect normally back in. But you need this when you're debugging that to adjust the speed or the strength. So right now we're just going to keep it in. Alright, so I have the button in, and I'm going to leave this off still because I just need to see where the latch goes. That's where the latch is going to come in, so I don't need to pop this on yet because this is what I'm going to have access to make those adjustments. So here we go with the first test, live in 3, 2, 1. So opening, releases. And I've not adjusted the speed or anything yet, so don't mind all the mess. And then to close it, you can use the button right inside. Again, don't mind the mess, I haven't adjusted anything. Goes in and pulls it down. It comes up a bit, so I just got to adjust it slightly. But the first thing I'm going to use to adjust is the knobs here. I'm going to turn them in a bit. So there you go. I'll give my final thoughts shortly. I'm just going to do the final adjustments. You don't need to see all that. Then I'm going to place everything back in. Catch you guys in it shortly. So see, this is what I'm trying to work on, just a little lippage here. Alright, so now we're going to go with those adjustments I was talking about. So it's lifting up just a bit, and I want to keep it lower. Get a wrench, and just to the left here, you want to hold this piece down so it's not moving on you. And then you want to move these screws either to the left or to the right. So you're going to either loosen this or tighten it one way or the other. So I'm just going to play with those screws a bit to get it where it sits down proper and flush, because it's off just a bit. But when I was doing mother frunkers, it was off a lot. I just have a few little tweaks to do, but this is where you do it. So if you run into problems, that's where you go. All right. And while you're still doing those adjustments and you're testing, you can still just push the button, leave that ratchet on so that you don't have to keep putting it on and off. So here's just a quick note. You can't close it from inside, but you can see that it is opened. So to close it, you do have to use this button, and it'll close down and release down in the latch. You can go through your controls, opening, and it'll open up. And the trick for closing it, like I said, if you don't use that button, you can actually, same thing, it's going to say, do you want to open it, but it's actually going to close it. Really, really neat, cool. I've had it installed for a week now and absolutely love it. I love it more than the trunk. I think just the fact that, again, I'm not touching the hood, I'm not applying any pressure on those points, so I truly, truly love it. And also, you can do the usual, just like the other one. Hey Siri, open the frunk.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
I don't know why once in a while it tells me to unlock the iPhone, but it's not true. And then I set up, you have to trick it, you basically create the same command to open the frunk, but then you just say close the frunk. So she keeps telling me to unlock the iPhone, but I don't know why. And it closes down perfectly. No lippage around. and if you do, it's easy to adjust like I was showing you. So that's it. Hansshow again for the win. Thank you guys. Great product that you make. And check in the descriptions below. I have a 10% coupon code and link to the product. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next one.